Do you want some help with whatever you do? It doesn't look like Brainiac.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Grading papers or whatever.
No, I messed up and it's my own sale. I forgot that I had this special meeting on Thursday and I put that I'm open.
Can I have one of those?
Is everybody logged in?
Yes.
Talking about it.
It's our neighborhood lunch sale. 50 homes. Would you like one?
Brian and Brother sells unless they sell blue books. I'm interested.
Blue books?
Want some blue books?
Okay.
How many do you want?
Everyone, that is the goal.
I have a lot of old books.
I probably have them if they're recent, like the ones I look for, like I just got one from 1872. Those are the ones I like, and I need to find.
Yeah, I've got some from the 80s, 70s,
I
maybe
got-
60s.
I got all those.
Okay.
All right. Personnel Committee
Because they're
meeting.
easy to
tried.
find.
I can't find
April
the
30th
I just
at
can't find the grant, so I can't.
4 minutes after 5. We'll start with the roll call. Alder Johnson,
Here.
Alder Grant,
Here.
Alder Hinkfist,
Here?
and I'm also here. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Entertain a motion on the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. On to regular business. Item 1, for consideration with possible action to appoint a Personnel Committee Chair.
Nominate Galvin.
Second.
Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Boy, you just moved that along expeditiously.
Don't object it in the 2 seconds I gave him. For consideration with possible action to appoint a Personnel Committee Vice Chair.
Nominate Alder Johnson.
All those in favor, say aye. Well, I thought that's how that worked.
It does.
If you were the chair.
All righty. All those in favor of Alder Johnson, say aye.
Aye.
We need a second.
Not for nomination.
Not
Not
for
for nomination,
nomination.
just for the vote. Or not, you don't, no second at all. You just need to vote. Okay?
All right. So that passes unanimously.
We read your email.
Yeah?
Okay, on to item number 3, for consideration with possible action on a request to fill the following positions and all subsequent vacancies resulting from internal transfers. Number 1, or item A, is a mechanic.
To approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And that
Oh, we go
passes.
one by one?
We can go one by one, yeah, because if there's anyone has any questions, otherwise if you want, we can take them all as one item.
Motion to suspend the rules, take up items 3B through 3E.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. On item number 4, for consideration with possible action on a request to create and fill a new Human Resources Generalist position to be shared by the City of Green Bay Human Resources Department, 50%, and the Green Bay Water Utility, 50%. Staff?
So we have in here the memo that kind of goes over the position. This is a fairly new position in the sense of General Manager Brian Powell is here as well to talk about it, and we have Melanie Falk to talk about it as well. Water did create a full-time HR liaison position a couple years ago. Now what we're looking to do is kind of merge it into a 50-50 shared position that focuses on water and then also with City of Green Bay HR generalist responsibility. So if you have any additional questions, it's outlined in the memo. Otherwise, Melanie or Brian can answer them for you.
So does this position exist right now?
So it does as a full-time position at the water utility, and it's paid 100% by the water utility.
And they want to with you now?
That is correct, yep. And then we'd share the cost with the water utility, which would be additional cost to the budget.
So it wasn't budgeted.
Right.
So now they've decided, I think Water Utility is probably saying, you don't need a full-time person per se?
Yeah, the person that was currently in the position left, took a different job. So now we're looking how to fill that position, so now's the time to do something different if we want to. So yes, to answer your question, we view it that the benefits we would gain sharing with HR and making it a generalist position instead of a liaison, we get more benefit. It provides some more duties for us during that halftime, and it also will help the HR department with their halftime employee.
But it's budgeted right now?
No.
No, we would,
Budget at the water utility, but not,
but not here. So the
Okay,
city
so
has
that-
to come up with the money to
Well,
cover.
that's what I'm gonna ask though, is
Yeah.
then is that salary that's at the water utility right now just gonna get moved over to your budget then?
So what we're doing
So-
is, we're going to split that cost. So right now, the water utility is funding for a full-time position, so their budget will be reduced because they'll be paying for half of it. At the city, we do not have it budgeted, so we'll have to add that to the HR budget to pay for it, and we're looking to pay it out of contingency, or potentially there could be some savings out of contractual services this year from HR.
So if they have contractual services where we can save money, where we don't need as much as we thought we would, and there's a savings there, they can transfer it into the wages and benefits or contingency, as we looked at before, this is an unexpected item. Plus, have we been able to fill the position yet or been able to offer it?
No, we haven't recruited for it yet.
So we're getting into June, so really only we're gonna be funding that for about half a year. And then it'll definitely be, if we approve this, it'll definitely be in for the budget for next year.
So we're technically adding a half of an FTE?
Yes,
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay.
sure, Alder Grant?
I just saw in the information that there's concerns of high turnover. Do you think it's lack of being busy, or why would sharing help reduce that?
yep, sharing will help reduce that because the position will be a little higher. Right now, it's an HR coordinator / liaison. It'll be a generalist position. We've had a couple people that were in that position left because there was no room for growth at the utility. We're just a one-person HR department per se. So they were looking to do more, bigger duties, so hence they left where there's an HR department where they can advance through.
Okay. Okay.
What was the grade, pay grade level, do you recall?
It's fairly close to this position,
Okay. But it does offer opportunity for advancement.
yes.
Okay. Alder Johnson?
Just maybe this is, I've seen this, I guess, over the years here where we seem to be very compartmentalized, siloed sometimes, I would even say, with the way that every department has their own accounting people, their own admin people, their own engineers, their own whatever, right? Why does the water utility need to have an HR person versus maybe having a management agreement, for example, with the city that says we're going to take care of all your HR functions with the staff that we have, and we're going to bill back a flat rate to you every year to accomplish those tasks. Has that been discussed?
Yeah, so I think to answer that question, we're doing a little bit of both. So to kind of break down, I guess, silos and have the water utility and the city work more closely on HR duties, that's part of the reason why we're sharing the position. And then we still do bill back for the HR responsibilities that we do outside of what, I guess, this position would be providing. So it does address kind of what you're saying in the sense of water utility did have a full-time position, and they're able to do that through the water commission to approve those positions. Whereas now they're saying, let's have a half-time position shared with water and city and have a little bit more, I guess, communication and better working together with those departments.
So it's not like you're just reducing it down to a half-time role. It's just going to be more of like a hybrid of half-time for you and sort of management fee or whatever, right, for the other services.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay. Joe, I don't know if I like contingency for this. But I appreciate that if the demand is there, right? We have to trust you to tell us there's this change of circumstance and we need help support here, right? So for me, I trust that. It's, I do think Alder Grant brings up a good point. If we're having high turnover or something that's creating that additional demand, would love to hear some insight on that. But I would prefer to see how we can handle this through either attrition savings or contractual savings. I would prefer to see that path. And then the other point that I would just make is, depending on what the will of the majority of the committee is, this, I would presume this would have to now get referred to finance.
That's what I was going to ask that question for Director Ellenbecker, if it does have to be referred or if we can just approve it.
I mean, every time we've done this in the past, if it requires, especially a contingency vote, it's gotta be on finance agenda. I've never seen personnel be able to make a decision to pull out a contingency.
Yeah, because usually we're pulling out of salaries, that account, so we already
Right.
have them.
So really, the broader point is, depending on what this committee says, right? Like, is it possible for us to say, yep, we approve this? If we don't designate a funding source, does it just automatically come out of your department and then you figure out how to fund it? How does that work?
I guess it would come out of our salaries line item. and-
Or any other savings that you have in any other,
Yeah.
if you had any savings in any other line item, like you said, a contractual services or another line item, if you can come up with that estimated dollar amount.
Okay. So again, I would prefer to see that path, but certainly open to other discussion.
So Brian, when you say not use contingency, is there
Right, so
another
that's the recommend-
contingency for this?
That's the staff
Yes.
recommendation here, is that this gets funded through the contingency account. And if we support that, then we would reduce the amount in contingency. But I'm saying I don't want to do that. I feel like, these are the types of things we got to budget for. And
I
if
agree.
an unexpected expense comes in, then we need to find a savings for it. That's just my philosophy. But obviously, I'm only one of 4 members here.
Do you want to make a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I would move to authorize the position and the splitting, sharing, however you want to word this. And I think if we just leave it at that, then it's up to you to come up with the savings. So,
A second.
All right. Any discussion on that?
The only question I have is when you were talking contingency, I didn't get to finish my question. So when we're talking contingency, is that the finance contingency? There's not a separate contingency?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
The 240,000.
And that's
Now
what-
I
But
totally
all these
agree with
other
that.
committees, Alder Hinkfist, any committee can make a request to pull funds from that contingency.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's finance committee that would
Make-
take that up then and decide if we want to authorize that.
Right,
Yeah.
And then, of course, then it goes to full council for.
right. So as Alder Johnson points out, if we approve the original ask, then it would have to end up, I believe, on our next finance committee to approve the funding.
And it's not a match to match, so if you have one position there, you're moving half of it to HR, but you're not moving the other half of the cash with it.
That's correct, because it's separate
We have
finance
different-
sources.
We have different budgets,
Yeah.
different funding sources.
Okay, but, so you're gonna keep half the FTE and the other half the money? I'm just trying to figure out how this works in my business.
They actually save money.
You just
we
transfer
end up
an
spending more.
employee.
They're gonna save money, we're gonna spend more.
Yeah, and that concerns me.
But we're gonna get, a half a person's, or 20 hours a week, if you wanna get technical, out of that individual.
The water utility
Without
is a
cash.
whole other beast, though. Water utility is totally, like, we don't manage the day-to-day
Right.
operations of water utility, so. So Brian will save some money, but he's got to answer to his, water commission.
So that's why I'm confused as to why you want to add another half an FTE
Yeah, so I
versus
think-
just half-time to,
Okay, Director
Renier Wick.
Renier Wick, yes, I'm sorry.
Let me just state that.
If you
we've
can
had a-
approach the,
Oh, sure,
podium.
sorry.
we got this just for you.
I'm just trying to.
I didn't plan on speaking to this, but we've had 6 openings in our department. Look, when there's openings like they have, and I bet Director Grenier can say the same thing, other staff are doing that job till that position's filled. The longer it takes to fill that position, the more stress it is on the department, the more people leave. It's a vicious cycle. I think we need more than a half, but please approve just the half. It's worth every penny.
I think the argument here, Alder Hinkfist, is that the city needs capacity. And by creating this half, it creates a full-time opportunity still for whichever person fills this role, rather than just hiring a part-time person, right? So now
No,
we still get to
I
hire
get that.
full-time, but we have to fund that half that's gonna work exclusively on city stuff.
So are we saying we need an additional half of an FTE?
I would say, yeah, we need an additional half, if not more. I would say we need more than that. so.
And what this it's a win-win. It's a win-win. They're saving some money, but they're also getting someone to do the work they need. And that person comes there knowing that I'm not locked into this position for the rest of my life with no chance for advancement. I'm actually an employee of both things, and I can move up this way, or I can just stay here if I really enjoy the type of work I'm doing. but now we are getting more work done that, quite frankly, with what we're experiencing with personnel issues, is the work is not getting done. It's being put on a shelf, and we're getting farther and farther behind.
Okay,
They've
I
been
wasn't
here
aware of
when
that.
DPW and Parks were talking about what the shortages are costing them and how it affects their ability to do their job for the citizens. It's really hitting home. So this is a reality that we're facing, and we're trying to figure our way out of it. And this, I think, is, I believe, a good solution to that end.
Okay. My concern is whenever we're adding two, I call them support positions versus positions that are facing the community, like, redevelopment authorities or anything like that, that's out there with the people, Steve's people, it's a support position. It's not a position that's earning money, it's not a position that's generating money, so I'm always gonna ask a lot whenever we're adding
Sure.
support type positions.
Yeah, we feel like this position will help recruit and, fill those positions quicker. That's what we're hoping for.
On the plus side, the water utility is now gonna be flush with extra cash.
So that's why I don't understand why we don't treasure
Taxpayers
money.
will win because he's gonna get to lower his rates now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that.
Okay. So we have
Someone's gotta take
a motion
notes.
and a second.
Bad.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes unanimously. On to item number 5, update and discussion of negotiations on the 2024 City of Green Bay and City of Green Bay Professional Police Association labor agreement. This is listed for a closed session.
Yeah, motion to go into closed session.
Second.
All those in favor of going into
Committee
closed session?
committee may convene in closed session pursuant to Section 19.85 subsection 1 subsection E Wisconsin statute for the purposes of deliberating or negotiating public employee contracts for competitive or bargaining reasons. Committee may thereafter reconvene in open session pursuant to 1985 subsection 2 Wisconsin statutes to report the results of the closed session and consider the balance of the agenda.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are in closed session. Chief, you're up. So let's just make,
Motion to return back to open session.
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
Motion to authorize staff to proceed as directed.
Second.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. On the informational, we have, item 1 is a notice of emergency authorization given for the request to fill the vacant development support specialist position with the Department of Community and Economic Development. Does anyone have any questions
What
about
is
that?
this? There's
Yeah,
no
so I can fill you in. So
information.
what we have is under our personnel policies, it's called emergency hire. So what we do is every once in a while, when we need to hire someone quickly, we'll reach out to the chair of personnel and the mayor and ask for emergency hire. So what happened in this situation was, we had one vacant position in economic development. We went through recruitment. We had multiple candidates that were very good. And then another position opened up, and we wanted to fill that position with the second candidate. Or, they both were very good. So we wanted to fill it with 2 of them, and we had 2 similar positions open. So that's what we did with that.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second. First.
Or, yep, second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to leaving? No? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you, people.